Welcome back to Grammar Grade 12. I'm really glad you're here. This is Unit 11, Lesson 72, and today we're looking at the three little marks that end almost everything you write: the period, the question mark, and the exclamation point. They seem simple, and most of the time they are, but each one has a couple of quiet rules that separate careful writing from careless writing. Where does a courteous request end? What happens when a question is only reported, not asked? When should that exclamation point actually come out? By the end of this lesson, you'll place all three with confidence. Let's dig in. Before we start, here's the big picture. Every sentence needs a stop sign at the end, a mark that tells your reader the thought is finished. In English, there are exactly three of them: the period, the question mark, and the exclamation point. Each one signals a different kind of sentence: a period for a statement, a question mark for a real question, an exclamation point for strong feeling. And here's the rule that ties them together. One mark ends the thought, and you never stack them. Get those three straight, and your writing always lands cleanly. Let's take them one at a time. Start with the workhorse, the period. Its main job is simple. It ends a declarative sentence, a plain statement of fact. The library closes at 9 tonight. That's a statement, so it closes with a period. The period also ends a mild command, what grammarians call a gentle imperative, a direction given calmly, without shouting. Please hand in your essays by Friday. You're telling someone to do something, but there's no strong emotion behind it, so a period is exactly right. Whenever you have a calm statement or a quiet request, reach for the period. The period has a second life too, outside of sentences. It closes most abbreviations. We shorten doctor to DR with a period, avenue to AVE with a period, November to NOV with a period, and so on. It also follows the initials that stand in for names. J.R. Ruiz signed the letter. A period after the J, a period after the R. And here's a small bonus rule. When an abbreviation lands at the very end of a sentence, you don't add a second period. One period does double duty, closing both the abbreviation and the sentence. So the period works quietly inside abbreviations and initials, not just at the end of a thought. Now a subtle one that trips up a lot of writers. Sometimes a request is phrased to sound like a question, but it really isn't one. Will you please close the door? That begins with will you, so your ear wants a question mark. But stop and think about what you actually expect back. You're not waiting for a yes or a no. You're expecting the person to get up and close the door. Because you expect an action, not an answer, it takes a period. It's a polite command in disguise. The test is simple. If you're asking for a favor rather than for information, end it with a period, even when it opens like a question. On to the question mark. Its job is to end a direct question, a sentence that actually asks something and expects an answer. Where are we meeting after class? That's a real question, so it earns a question mark. But watch out for the indirect question. An indirect question doesn't ask. It simply reports that a question was asked, and it lives inside a statement. She asked where we were meeting. Notice, nobody is being asked anything right now. We're just telling you what happened. So it ends with a period, not a question mark. The test. Does the sentence actually ask, or does it only tell? If it merely tells, use a period. That leaves the exclamation point, the most dramatic of the three. It ends an exclamatory sentence, one that bursts with strong feeling. What a game that was! You can hear the excitement, and the exclamation point captures it. It also ends a forceful interjection, a short outburst that stands on its own. Wow, watch out! Both are quick bursts of emotion, and each takes an exclamation point. But here's the caution every good writer learns. The exclamation point is powerful precisely because it's rare. If you end every sentence with one, none of them mean anything. So use it sparingly. Save it for the moments that truly deserve it. One last habit to break before we practice. Whatever mark you choose, one is always enough. In casual texting, you might see 3 exclamation points in a row. But in real writing, that looks unpolished. That's incredible. With 3 exclamation points is a mistake. That's incredible. With just 1 is correct. The same goes for mixing marks. Don't stack a question mark and an exclamation point together to show you're surprised and asking at once. Pick the single mark that best fits your meaning and stop there. Clean punctuation trusts the words to carry the feeling. Let's fold everything into a quick check you can run at the end of any sentence. 1. Is it a plain statement or a calm, polite request? Then a period. 2. Does it end with an abbreviation or someone's initials? Still a period. 3. Is it a direct question that truly asks for an answer, not just an indirect one that reports? Then a question mark. And 4. Does it burst with strong feeling, or is it a sharp interjection? That's your rare exclamation point. Run those 4 questions. Remember never to stack marks, and every sentence you write will end exactly the way it should. Let's practice. In this first set, I'll give you a sentence and ask which end mark fits. Think about the difference between a real question and a request or a report. Pause the video and choose before I reveal each answer. Would you please email me the agenda before the meeting? Period or question mark? It opens like a question, but you're not really asking. You're politely asking someone to send the agenda. Since you expect an action, not an answer, it takes a period. The teacher asked whether we had finished the assignment. Period or question mark? Listen closely. Nobody is being asked anything right now. The sentence only reports that a question was asked, so it's an indirect question and ends with a period. How many pages did you read last night? Period or question mark? This one genuinely asks for information and expects an answer. It's a direct question, so it takes a question mark. Now the second set. These sentences test strong feeling, abbreviations, and the rule against stacking marks. Decide on the single best end mark before I answer. What an unbelievable finish that race had! Period or exclamation point? You can feel the excitement in it. It's an exclamatory sentence bursting with strong feeling. That calls for an exclamation point. Please deliver the package to Dr. A.R. Mendez on Elm Ave. 1 period or 2? The abbreviation AV already ends with a period, and when an abbreviation closes a sentence, that 1 period does double duty. So you use 1 period, not 2. Can you believe we actually won? Should we use a question mark only, or a question mark and an exclamation point together? It's tempting to pile on both because you're excited and asking at once. But you never stack end marks. The sentence is a question, so choose a single question mark only. Let's pull it all together. The period is your everyday mark. Use it for a plain statement, a mild command, and a courteous request. The kind that opens like a question but expects an action. And use it after abbreviations and initials too. The question mark belongs to the direct question, the one that truly asks. If a sentence only reports that a question was asked, that indirect question takes a period instead. And the exclamation point is your rare, powerful mark for strong feeling or a sharp interjection. Reach for it sparingly and never stack it with another mark. One thought, one mark, chosen to fit your meaning. Next time, in Lesson 73, we'll turn to colons, the mark that introduces a list or points ahead to what's coming. I'll see you there.